let's move on to our first article of the day, and this comes from Japan Today. Nintendo game pulled from Chinese platforms after Hong Kong protest. A Nintendo Switch video game, has been pulled off China's gray market e-commerce platforms, Reuters check shows, after Hong Kong activist Joshua Wong used the game to protest against Beijing's rule of the Chinese territory. The game Animal Crossing: New Horizons is a colorful social simulator in which players can decorate their own island and invite others to visit. It became an instant hit after it launched last month, and it has been used by many players to interact and stimulate real-life scenarios while they are stuck at home because of measures to curb the virus outbreak. Joshua Wong, the Hong Kong activist, took his protest to the game last week. Then the Twitter protester a screenshot of his island decorated with a banner saying, "Free Hong Kong, the revolution now." China has stringent rules on content from everything from video games to movies and music, censoring anything it believes to violate the core socialist values. Gaming companies must also seek licenses for the games they wish to publish. Nintendo launched the console sales in Japan with tech giant Tencent in December, but players in China can only access multiplayer connections for gaming, such as Animal Crossing, via foreign editions, available on the gray market via platforms as Taboo. Okay, however, since Joshua Wong's Twitter post, searches for Animal Crossing: New Horizons have showed no results on Planido, on Alibaba's tobacco. Some vendors are trying to circulate the crackdown by dictating political buyers toward listing and selling the game without using the title description. Okay, some Animal Crossing players in China have created the scenario that mirror the world, with temperature checks point to waivers wearing masks. Okay, I want to give my comments on this. Stay with me. This article meant something to me because the Nintendo game was pulled. If you recall, maybe think back to last year about the Blizzard gaming. There was a Hearthstone champion player in Hong Kong who goes by the name of Blitzchung champion. And when he was playing, he basically was on TV and he said, "Free my country, the time for liberation is now." Something to that extent. And he got penalized, and two other crewmen were also fired for the job, which is fine. And beyond that, Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets, the executive NBA guy, he also said something, then he had to backtrack because China says it was no good. So I wanted to point this out, that this is an ongoing thing with protesting and people expressing themselves, and the suppressor is trying to get their way. Now, for my listeners or viewers, I have a question for you. What have you protested? You know, many Americans protested Schick Razor when they were trying to say toxic masculinity back in the day. But yeah. So, what do you protest? Many people protested Schick razors after a toxic masculinity commercial. Protest is when you don't buy, support, or interact with people or a product that goes against your beliefs. I protested movies due to superheroes killing, DC movies. After seeing Superman kill Zod in his newest movie, I did not want to see that from the superheroes I grew up with. So when Batman came out, and then Superman versus Batman, and all the other DC movies, I just haven't seen them. And I heard that the superheroes killed more people in those movies. So to me, I feel I was just. And I even see my little nieces and nephews, they dress in these costumes, and I'm like, well, their name is tarnished now. Another example is when Korea and Japan had an island dispute, Koreans protested killing Japan's national birds in front of their embassy in South Korea. So that was Dodocto Island, by the way. So my question for you is, what did you protest, and how did you protest, and did you ever revert? Please leave your comments below. I'd love to hear. Hi. The small clip you saw was brought to you by Loyal World News. If you like what you saw, you should subscribe and look up my daily Loyal World News report for its full version. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, prefer to be on the road, I also have a podcast in every full-length video I put up.